here at Pike's Performance, and we're just getting through. I'm just picking up the car right now, and so I just wanted to go through a couple of the numbers with Alex here.
Basically, this is a overlay of the baseline and the final numbers from our tuning. So the baseline made 554 horsepower and 523 pound-foot of torque. Our final tune made 566 horsepower, 515 pound-foot of torque. So if you notice on the baseline, which is this line right here, this curve, actually peaked a little bit more torque, right around 4,200 RPM. But as time or RPM increased, the torque fell off sooner. So the torque curve here is now holding nice and steady throughout the entire RPM range. So that will definitely be noticeable on the top end. In addition to that, here's your power curve. Again, made just a slight bit more power right here at 4,200 RPM. But then we have a little bit of a dip, and then as time goes on, we see a reduction in power on the baseline. This is our current tune, which is pretty progressive. So that's also going to be definitely noticeable. The thing about this is this could be contributed to cat overtemp potentially. Also maybe some false knock combined with that. So there's a lot of reasons why it may do that. May not necessarily just be tune related per se, but because we've corrected a few things in terms of, we saw a little boost leak, so we fixed that, and then we have removed the cats, put off-road mids on it, so that's also going to help because he's not going to have cat overtemp anymore.
Okay, yeah,
so
that makes sense. Okay.
So this is our final pull just without any baseline overlaid with it. All right, so this is the baseline, okay? So we were measuring an equivalence ratio, so it's basically like lambda for the baseline. So 0.79 lambda, for you guys that don't know, it's about 11.3 parts air to 1 part fuel. All right, so beginning the pull, we were at 3,400 RPM, 0.81, so that's about 11.4, 11.5. And as the RPMs increase, we see the equivalence ratio go to about 0.72 lambda, which is the equivalent of about 10.4 parts air to 1 part fuel. So a little on the rich side for sure. If you look at the commanded equivalence ratio, it didn't really change. It still stayed at 0.82. So that wouldn't have been cat overtemp at that point. It's right here where it was 0.81 and we're commanding 0.82. They're about the same.
Okay.
Right? So, as RPMs increased, we had a bit more of a differential. It got richer than what it was commanding at higher RPMs.
Okay.
So
it got richer than it was trying to get, essentially. Than it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
How does that happen?
Well, one of the things could have been from the boost leak. So if you have a boost leak, you have less air coming in than what was originally metered or what was originally calibrated at. Right.
So it's going to have.
So if it had, let's say you had 60 pounds per minute of airflow with no boost leak. You get a boost leak. Now let's say you have 55 pounds per minute of airflow.
Yeah.
So the car is still tuned based off 60 pounds per minute of airflow, but now you only have 55. So now it's going to be richer.
It's going to add that fuel and not have any air.
Exactly. It doesn't have the fuel, the air to go with the fuel.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things we found. There's a slight boost leak, so we have repaired that, and that may have been part of it.
Yeah.
So like I said, there's so many different variables in these situations. It's really hard to say it's one thing or the other.
Yeah. It looks like the issues I was having before might have been related to a boost leak. Seems like that's actually kind of likely, maybe, but
yeah, in terms of the air fuel, especially.
Yeah.
Wide open throttle.
Because it was as you guys all know, and at the very top, like past 5,500, it was like on my wideband, it was going to the very, very bottom of 10, and sometimes at even moments it would sit at 10, which means it was probably below 10, like 9 something, which seems outrageous.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is pretty common on these. It's a leak wreck right here.
Okay, so was it just like the fitting? Oh yeah, that's super tight right there.
Yeah, the coupler. Sometimes they get out of alignment, and so it can definitely cause some problems.
Okay, so it looks like we were looking some boost air. I see you short all these up because these look better than they did.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And the tension on the belt, was that?
It seems to be fine.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
All right. So when I installed the belt, I didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, I mean we have no slip, so the boost is linear and progressive. as it should be on a Pro Charger. So I think it's fine, and don't fix it if it ain't broke.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I won't mess with it then.
Yeah. So,
whenever I start messing it, things seem to start breaking. So.
But yeah, I mean we went on a test drive.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
It ran actually a lot better. At idle, it used to like bob around, and most of you guys know from like my cold starts, the car kind of sounded like it had a cam in it at points. And
which that could have been from the leak.
Yeah, it could have been the boost leak. It could have been just too much fuel.
Don't forget.
Yeah, and my drive shaft that doesn't.
Driving off without it.
Yeah, I know. I was hoping I could leave it with you guys or pawn it off on you. But I'm gonna try to sell that thing probably, unless we do the HP 90 swap, which we are.
From Hellraiser.
We're actually looking into that, and that's a possibility.
And you might be able to actually use it.
I know. So I'm gonna hang off. I'm gonna hold off for whatever till we get till we know what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
And if I do go HP 90, then that'll be very convenient.
Absolutely.
That I already have one. So I thank you for your help.
Absolutely. Thank you for the business.
Yeah, no problem. And yeah, so just let me know on the other things we were talking about, like the building the motor and stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so I'm just heading home now from Pites, and the car is running really good. The only thing that I will say that I'm not completely sure of is the noise, because with these catless mids, it's significantly louder. It's a lot louder, like a lot. So I'm kind of like, I'm just gonna try to live with it for a little bit, just to see, to make sure I don't like it, because sometimes when things are just different, you can want to change it, but then you find out later, then you're fine with it. So I don't know if it's too loud. It's just really loud. But if it's too much, I'm not sure. If it is, then I'll just go with either put my stock mufflers back in, or I'll find some other sort of setup. So the entire time home, it has been raining like insane. So other than just driving the car and like kind of feeling how it drives, which is pretty good, I haven't been able to like get on it whatsoever. I tried to in one little section and it just spun. So just gonna we'll try again tomorrow, so that way I can kind of review it. So we'll see how it goes. But I just wanted to note that this is why I like running all seasons, because it rains like this quite often here. And yeah, if I were on some Nittos, some Nitto 55Rs or even the more mild tires, none of them are really good in the rain. And with the massive amount of rain we get, like I just really want like a good all season, and that's what I have. So but this is why, because it's always raining here. I'm kind of showing you some of the idle. Oh, check that out. Perfection. Okay, so just wanted to go over all the stuff a little bit. I didn't grab the invoice. I think I forgot it there, so I will go over that. I'll go over that eventually. Don't worry, I'll tell you all the costs. But like I said, it was $2,300 total, and that's for the mid pipe, the tune with the trans tune, the boost leak check to install the drive shaft, which that didn't happen. For all that stuff, the exact breakdown, I'm not sure. But one cool thing is that they laminated this. Alex must have seen my videos, and he knows how much of a slob I am. He's like, these papers are going to be destroyed if I don't laminate them. And that's right. So as far as like how it feels like power wise, I don't have a good comparison because I didn't really get on it, but like the drivability, I do have to say it is significantly better. And I don't know how much of that is because from the boost leak and how much of that is just from the difference in the tune. But one thing for sure is with an active boost leak, it's going to have a really hard time running correctly. So that could have been one of the reasons for a lot of the problems I was experiencing. But unfortunately right now, we're just not going to know because too many changes occurred at the same time. So I hate that. I always like to have data that you can rely on and like draw conclusions, and in this case there's going to be none of that. So there you go. It made 566, and that's with Alex's tune, and he made it a little bit safer because, you know, we discussed the plans for the car. So he backed down the timing a little bit. You heard what he said. He backed down the timing in certain places and just tried to get it a little bit more reliable, a little bit more drivable, and more power. And I mean, based on the dyno, there's definitely more power. Is it as much as you might expect for there not being cats on it anymore? I don't know. But I don't really feel like I can draw too many conclusions on power until I have like an apples to apples comparison. And that's going to happen when we take it to G-Force. And they, you know, just run it on their dyno and see exactly what it makes. I know what it made before, so we'll get a direct one-to-one comparison on the same dyno. Not the same variables. It was hot when I did that, so what we're going to expect is a much larger number when we take it to G-Force, but we'll go down that road when we get there. And this is just my the normal dyno. So you see 566, and he said without the correction, because it's cold and all that good stuff, without the correction it was like 588, he said, but with the correction it's a lot lower. And just as an example, I was talking to a few people there, on his dyno, a stock 392, supposedly, I only say supposedly because, you know, it's, you know, when dealing with stuff like this there's no for sure, but supposedly on those dynos, a stock 392 makes right around 400, a little over 400, 405. So that gives you an example of what kind of power we're talking about here. But again, we got to get it to G-Force because we know what a stock 392 makes there, because we dynoed my wife's car, and we know what this made there. So that's really going to be the best way to get good data. So I think that's going to be it for now. A little disorganized on this video, just a lot going on. So sorry about that, guys. But new things coming. I got a new, we'll just say a new thing for this car because it's going to be really weird. And the Demon replica rims are here. I guess I can show this to you guys real quick. And I did charge this. And it was only like at half power, so it charged up. You charge it through a little, I gotta show you guys this because it's a little strange. You have to hook up like an extension cord there. It doesn't have its own cord. But I guess that's fine to just not keep more junk on it. But this is a nice little thing. The way it fills up tires is awesome. I'm super happy about this thing. So if anyone else, just for the tire alone, it's great. Because it's got a big, powerful battery in there. It can fill up tires fairly quickly, and it's got a display. It does it exactly what you want. I love this thing. This box had a big impact, but I know from how they have these things packed, it is extremely safe for the rim. There we go. Now the lighting is garbage, so you guys aren't going to see it all that well, but you know what a Demon wheel looks like. I think that's actually going to look pretty good. Now, what I need you guys to do, I really want my wife to have these rims because I think they'd look a lot cooler on her car, but she doesn't think so. And it would allow her to run 305s in the back. I mean, I know I'd have to get the new front rim for the one I scratched, but I feel like it would be a good upgrade for her car to put these rims on it. Actually, those would probably look better on her car, but we have these. So go on her channel if you can and try to encourage her to do that, because she's like, doesn't seem to want to mod her car, and that's kind of annoying because I want to screw with it and she doesn't want to. So that's going to be it for now. Next video, I'll probably get the Demon rims installed. I might not, I don't know. Gotta just figure out what I'm gonna do. And if it's raining. So this is gonna be it for now. Tell me what you guys think of the tune. Any questions you have, any questions I should ask Alex. But so far, the car seems to be running okay, but you know, with the rain, I didn't get a super good comparison. Oh, one thing I will note is with the transmission tuning that he did, or whatever he did to the transmission, it's just a lot harder now. Quicker, harder, even in eco mode, and I love that, because I love the shifting in track, but you had to be in track to get that. But now it shifts hard even in eco, and that's super cool. And in track it shifts like really hard, like chirp the tires hard probably, but again, it's raining, so it was just me playing a little bit. Anyway, peace.
Just a pilot in his cockpit seated. Black leather on his ass, keep a hustler heated. Weed is engaged in the pavement. Rubber escorts like I'm seeking arrangement. Push the gas, escalate the gauges, escalate hits on the key.